Easter, the doorway to spring, opens in London, as it does throughout the Christian world, with the festival of the risen Christ. In St. Paul's Cathedral, the Dean conducts the first of the day's services. The procession passes the Garden of the Resurrection, above which rise the empty cross and the dove of the Holy Spirit. Engraved on the rock of the tomb are the words, "Why seek ye the living among the dead?" Easter, the doorway to spring, and for thousands of young couples, the doorway to married life. This year, there are more Easter weddings than ever, and that means more friends than ever to give them a traditional send-off. Grown-ups can keep their confetti in their old boots. To the people who matter, the thing that matters about Easter is the egg. Not everyone can have an egg as big as this, but large or small, there's something for everybody. But for hundreds of thousands, the main thing is to get out of town. You may not get very far. You may get there by fits and starts, but you'll get there somehow, on your rims if necessary. Some people walk with the idea of getting somewhere, while others walk with the idea of being looked at. Like these girls in Hyde Park, the place where spring always goes to people's heads. It's nice being young and glamorous to show off an Easter bonnet, but it isn't essential. If you don't believe us, come to Hayes Fair and have a look at some of the old ones. Between ourselves, some of these grandmotherly hats show more variety than the glamour girls' efforts, and a lot more imagination. The first prize goes to 91-year-old Mrs. Ellen McElligott. Over to Goodwood for the first big motor racing event of the British season. Here's the Formula One race with Mike Hawthorne's BRM leading Scott Brown in a Connaught. Tragedy marred the sports car race when Tony Dennis crashed to death in his D-Type Jaguar, but the Formula One event passes without serious mishap. Mike Hawthorne overturned in the BRM, but escapes, leaving Sterling Moss to a win easily in his Maserati, breaking the Goodwood lap record on the way. The big holiday event for cycling fans is the Herne Hill meeting. Here's the Gold Column 5-mile race. 17.5 laps with points scored for every lap, so it's not necessarily the first home who wins the race. And in fact, the winner, John Geddes, didn't even complete the course. Now let's look in at the Daily Herald meeting at Oulton Park, where the 350cc event's in full swing. There's Bob McIntyre on his Norton, number 37. And it's Bob McIntyre who wins in terrific form. Another feather in the cap of this Glasgow boy. Or if you like something quieter, how about Teddington Regatta, the biggest in the British Isles with 400 competitors, 200 boats, and 4 solid days of racing. This is the Merlin Rocket class event, but there are races for everything from canoes to 18-foot nationals. Or perhaps this is too crowded for your liking. Then how about a punt? All you need's a girl, a river, and a pole, which anyone can use. Peaceful, isn't it? Never mind, dear, you can always tell them about the one that got away. Perhaps it's safer to stick to the bank, though even there you may put your foot in it. For some, the long weekend is just the opportunity they've been waiting for to put in some work in the garden. And who knows, perhaps the family will give a hand with the shallots. Don't look now, but you're being followed. The weather may not be up to much, but there are still some who'll get to the sea or bust. And one advantage of having a family is that they can always get down and push. Who cares if it's cold? They came here to dig, and they're going to dig. Who cares indeed? There are even some who'll brave the pier, or braver still, risk a wetting. But why bother to go to the sea to be seasick? You can do it right here. And if you're stuck at home, you can always break for a cuppa. Some people make such a fuss about a little mess. Still at it? Well, there's got to be an end to everything.